Hey MAGA, remember how you were so excited to vote for Donald Trump because he said he was going to end all wars and not start any wars and he was going to bring down your prices and make everything more affordable? Then less than a week into office, he completely took back that second part, saying, "Oh, I'm not going to bring down prices, that's too hard." But of course he took back that whole peace thing too because he was the first president to ever bomb 7 countries in one single year. But now, just like every other Republican in the last 40 years, he's gotten us into another forever war in the Middle East, which he said there will be no deal with Iran, just unconditional surrender. Now, some of you seem to have caught on as to what this is doing to your gas prices that he also said he would bring down. Gas prices around the country have gone up about 40 to 50 cents in just the last week. And that's because the day after he and Netanyahu started bombing Iran, experts said that the cost of a barrel of oil could go up to $100. As of today, a week after they started bombing, you know what it is? $93. And it's just going to keep going up. And you guys can't even really deny this anymore because I've lost track of the number of videos I've seen in just the last 2 days of Trump supporters throwing away their red hats, throwing away their Trump flags, and ripping their Trump bumper stickers off their truck. And they're doing it over gas prices. So apparently for 10 years, it wasn't the lies that bothered you, it wasn't the misogyny, the racism, or even the pedophilia. It was gas prices that finally broke you out of the cult. But I don't know if you realize just how bad this is. Because while your dear leader, your Jesus figure, is telling you that affordability is a joke and everybody across the country is rich now, not only were our prices going up before this because of his shitty tariffs, but because the cost of gas is going up, the cost of everything is going to go up due to increased transportation prices. Which means that every single thing you buy, including those eggs that you really wanted to be cheaper, are going to be astronomically insane. So how does it feel to vote 3 times for a man who lied to your face about absolutely everything? He didn't make life more affordable for you. He didn't make your insurance or your prescription drugs more affordable for you. He didn't make your house more affordable. He didn't bring down your grocery prices or your gas prices.
Reports have come out that the Pentagon spent $93 billion last year in September on king crabs, lobster tails, steaks, etc. Around the same time, they cut folks' food stamps. Around the same time where they could not negotiate health care. But they can afford to spend $93 billion on steaks, crabs, and lobster tails. Is this real life? In 1 month, they spent that. $93 billion on food. And they had the audacity to cut folks' food stamps during that time.
So when I win, I will immediately bring prices down.
Yeah. I hope you guys are ready. Gas in my area has risen about 30 cents in the last 4 days. And these prices could have been avoided had Congress simply voted to restrict the war powers of the president. But they didn't. So we can thank Congress for the high prices. We can thank Donald Trump for the high prices. And it's all because they decided they wanted to go to war. Yeah. So, buck.
Gasoline will soon be $5 a gallon. They could also bring down our country.
Gas prices are going to destroy this country.
Inflation is the worst it's been in 40 years. Gas prices are up 50%.
Those were comments from Donald Trump over the years as he warned that rising gas prices were a sign of failed leadership in the White House. Now, in 2026, Trump is back in office and gas prices are rising again. Oil prices briefly surged as the Iran war threatened global supply routes like the Strait of Hormuz. But within about a day, prices dropped sharply as markets bet the conflict could ease. Still, oil prices are well above what they were at the start of the war, and prices at the pump are significantly higher than they were just a few weeks ago. For years, Trump has argued that presidents are responsible for what Americans pay at the pump.
People are outraged. The fact is, we have nobody in the White House to protect us. This could bring down Obama, but unfortunately could also bring down our country. Gasoline and fuel and oil, that's really the lifeblood of the country. That's what we need to work.
Trump didn't make the comment once. He warned again and again that rising gas prices were a sign of failed leadership in Washington.
Rising gas prices will absolutely kill any movement in the economy.
Now, with oil prices climbing as the war involving Iran rattles global energy markets, Trump is responding this way. Short-term oil prices will drop rapidly when the destruction of the Iran nuclear threat is over. It is a very small price to pay for the US and world safety and peace. Only fools would think differently. President DJT. For more than a decade, Trump argued that the price at the pump was a
Okay, so get this. Trump supporters are getting scammed into buying Trump bucks online, which are absolutely worthless. This company is claiming that these Trump bucks will get you really rich super quickly, but of course that's just not true. And this is what some of the Trump bucks look like. Yeah, people are actually buying this. And one guy spent $2,200 on Trump bucks only to discover that they are worthless when he tried to cash them in. Companies like Patriots Dynasty, Patriots Future, and USA Patriots are behind the scam. But it just goes to show you that these diehard Trump supporters will buy anything with his face or his logo on it. But
listen up, liberals. Nobody did more to lower oil prices than Donald Trump until he realized that high oil prices are good, actually. So he went to work making oil prices higher. And that's what he did because he's so smart. And it's easy to be a MAGA. You don't have to change your mind every time he does.
We're now in day 12 of the war in Iran, and I read that the Trump administration has started to panic about the rising price of oil. Yep, apparently Trump is so worried he can barely sleep through his meetings. Oh. You know things are bad because today Trump gave J.D. Vance a garden hose and asked him to siphon gas from Canada. He's like, just try it. But don't worry, Trump has a solution to save on gas. He's asking everyone to just drive downhill. We're gonna ghost ride the whip. Trump said the high gas prices are nothing to worry about. He was like, I just heard on TV, America actually runs on Dunkin'. So we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be okay. Okay. Well, California Governor Gavin Newsom called out Trump for triggering a global oil spike. Newsom said, thanks to you, it now costs $80 a day to do my hair. Oh. Yeah, oil has gotten so expensive, Pete Hegseth and Don Jr. have started hair pulling to work. Today, in a phone interview...
Did you fill up today or just...
No, I just got $15.
Is that because it's high?
Yeah, I can't afford to fill up right now. Payday isn't right now. I don't know that we're going to wake up from one day to the next, to be honest.
The only thing that I know that the prices went up, it's not good. So he's the president, so he needs to consider it when the prices goes up. It's not good for the lives of the people.
Gas prices in the US have been rising since the war in Iran began. They've gone up on average about 50 cents a gallon, and here in DC that puts it about $3.50. Now in Australian terms, a litre works out about 125 Australian here. That might not seem much, but motorists here are already feeling the pinch.
I just heard up 50 cents on the dollar so far since the war. Probably get a little worse before it levels out, would be my guess.
The president says, look, they will go up for a short time, but it's worth it for America's security. What do you think about that?
We don't really know how long this is going to take. We don't know how long his war is going to be. So it's uncertainty. He does never really tell us anything clear to us.
President Trump says oil prices will drop dramatically once the mission in Iran is complete.
Now, all of a sudden, all of these experts and CNBC analysts want to tell us that, oh, Trump is raising the gas prices because of the attacks on Iran, cutting off the Straits of Hormuz so none of the ships could get through. Meanwhile, under Biden, we had higher gas prices than we do right now, and there was no war. Make it make sense.
Wow, Miss Kathy, this is embarrassing. Okay. Miss Kathy, you can't think of any wars that happened while Joe Biden was president? I'll give you a hint. It was a war that you guys complained about endlessly, even though Joe Biden had nothing to do with it starting. Nothing coming to mind? Let's take a look at these gas prices, Miss Kathy. You see where that peak is right there? Well, in February of 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine, and that threw a giant wrench into the global oil market. Now, on top of that, it was a supply and demand issue. Miss Kathy, do you remember when COVID happened and all the countries of the world shut down and everybody stopped driving to work? Well, during that time, the oil companies ramped down oil production because nobody was buying oil. Then fast forward, the vaccine comes out and all the countries of the world open back up and everybody starts driving to work again. And when that happened, the demand for oil skyrocketed. And as most of us learned as children, Miss Kathy, what happens when there's low supply and high demand? Yeah, prices go up. So COVID combined with Russia's war on Ukraine is why gasoline got so expensive in 2022. And at this point, Miss Kathy, both Trump and Caroline Leavitt have admitted that the reason gasoline jacked up in price the last few days is because of his war in Iran. It seems like you're the only person who doesn't understand that. So some advice, Miss Kathy, if you'd like to stop embarrassing yourself on here, perhaps stop yelling at experts.
Where are the Republicans in Congress? Where are the people who say they care about the economy, about jobs, about working families? Because the unemployment rate ticked up to 4.4%. The U.S. economy lost 92,000 jobs last month. Lost. Not slowed down, not stalled. So I just don't understand, because if this were happening under a Democratic president, you know they would be screaming at the top of their lungs. They'd be on every news channel. They'd be holding emergency press conferences. They'd be demanding hearings. They'd be calling it a national crisis. But right now, silence. Losing 92,000 jobs in 1 month, this is something even economists can't fathom. And the people who are supposed to hold the president accountable is acting like everything is fine. It's not fine. I'm scared for this country. You should be too. Because if we keep going the way we've been going, this isn't just a bad month. This is the beginning of something way worse. Think of it like this. When Biden took office, the economy was still digging out from the pandemic recession. And his first 13 months, he added millions of jobs. Businesses reopened and hiring surged. And now compare that to Trump's first 13 months. Hiring barely moved, and now 92,000 jobs lost in 1 month. And the silence from Republicans is deafening. When do you realize that you guys are